Coach Royce, what's up, man? Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you. How you doing?
Good, man. Thank you guys for coming out.
Yeah,
Same question that I opened with for all coaches, just general opening statement about the program and introduce us to the players that you brought with you today.
Yeah, down here on my far right, I've got sophomore J.J. Anderson, left tackle Parker Brooks, and then most of you probably already know my son Gibson. The state of the program, guys, we're excited. We've had a good offseason. We've done some things in the offseason that, frankly, we haven't done before. So I'm excited about the possibilities for these guys. They put in the work, and we feel like we're in a good position to be successful. I think our biggest challenge is, and I think people know this, we've got to not only get into games with elite teams, we've got to start beating elite teams more often. And so we've been talking about that frequently. Some of these teams are sitting in this room, and so we want to get in and be able to compete with those guys successfully. You know, we've been in the playoffs, but we want to get beyond one game. One game's not good enough. You know, at 7-3-8-2, great. We're going to be 9-1, 10-0. And so we're, you know, looking at how we can, you know, defeat those obstacles and compete with some of these elite teams that, you know, are in there year in and year out and doing great things. That's where we want to head to. And so our focus has been on how do we get there. And so we've done some things differently than we have in the past. We went ahead and jumped on board and we did a college tour with our 7-on-7 crew. We were highly successful. Competed well at multiple tournaments, actually winning one of them, placing second out of Liberty and third at Virginia Tech. You know, our bigs have been putting in the time. They've been doing well at trench sports, supported by the Touchdown Club, and they competed and did well there. So we're just sort of like trying to put all the pieces together and make sure that, you know, we're in a good position to be successful and compete in these big games.
Coach, can you talk about the offensive side of the ball? Obviously, you have a quality quarterback. What kind of weapons are you surrounding him with this coming season?
Yeah, I think obviously that's probably an area that we feel like is going to be a strength going into the season. We've got 9 returners. So we return all but one on our offensive line, and we're returning our entire receiving corps. And then we actually have a stable of running backs we're pretty excited about, despite DK Chapman going on to Emory and Henry on scholarship this past season. So we're excited about the possibilities there. JJ's a part of that. JJ's pretty electric. We found that out when he was a freshman. He's done an amazing job, and he's a good leader. That's why he's sitting over here as a sophomore, because I know he's going to speak well for himself and he's going to represent us in community well. Parker Brooks has been with us going on his 4th year now as a senior, and I trust him to protect the backside of this guy right here, and he gets it done, and he leads our offensive line. He's scrappy, he doesn't play around, and he lets the team know that we're not going to play around either. Like, he's an excellent leader in that regard, and he ensures that, you know, we're meeting the standard day in and day out. And then, of course, this guy's just stuck with me. He doesn't get many choices. He gets it at home, he gets it you know, in the locker room, he has to ride home with me half the time. So, you know, I guess as a father, I'll say this straight out, I'm extremely proud of him and who he's become. As a coach, I'm also excited for the possibilities of this season for him, because we're going to have a better crew around him.
And Coach, what excites you the most coming up to football season?
I don't know, man. I just get out there and I smell the grass, and then, you know, it just feels right. You know, this time of year, I think most of us are here for a reason. We love this game. And so just getting out there, we had over 100 guys come out, JV varsity combined, and just to see that the community excitement is still in there for Midlothian football, and they're supporting what we do, and they want to see us successful. And for us, that's a huge part of the formula, is community success. We don't get much done without, you know, our families and our school and our administration and our community getting behind us. And that's one of the places that I think we've been able to make the most jumps. We have a brand new weight room because of our community. And so those kinds of things enable us to do more and do it better. And so I'm just excited about the possibilities all the way around.
For the players, we hear, you know, in the media about the offensive weapons you guys are going to have this year. The coach, you also talked about trying to take it to that next level, losing to some of the heavyweights in the area. For the players, what have you guys talked about privately of making that adjustment and making things happen?
So I think one thing that's really cool this year is that we've set up a leadership council. So each position group has their own designated leader, and we're all
being vocal and we're holding each other to a higher standard. And I think the biggest thing when you get into this big game is you have to believe that you can go toe to toe with anybody, but they put their hands on the same one leg at a time, right? And so it was a belief thing last year. Is we lost a couple guys in these big games due to injury, and our morale and belief just weren't there. But I think this year is so much different in the belief that we have in each other. We trust each other, and there's a different type of swagger that we can go. It doesn't matter how many scholarships you have. It doesn't matter how tall you are, how fast you are. Like, if we execute, we do our job. We have a swagger. We can win anything right.
I think another thing that we've been trying to do this year is making sure that we're constantly building intensity through practice, through the weight room, whatever it is. And I think that we've done a really good job with that. And part of that was, having a leadership council or just talking to your guys, and being more than just teammates on the field, being friends outside of it, building connections with people, and then taking those connections to the field and being able to compete with people who are your best friends, and be able to just be aggressive and have a good time at the same time. I think it's just really built the team together.
A big word we've used this year is compete. We like to compete with everybody we go against. If it's each other or it's the other team, we like to compete. Just show that we're there, show that we work just every day for it, and just be our best selves.
Appreciate it.